So, if humanity is to exist, let alone thrive, what will have to happen?
So, in our own consciousness, we need to really see this is an omnicentric universe.
Which means?
Every point in the universe is the center of the universe. Therefore, there is no privileged center anywhere. That is a scientific fact. Now, in a human organization, the founding document, Declaration of Independence, say all men are created equal, which means President of the United States and somebody who is a housekeeper in a hotel are created equal. Nobody has any extra privilege over anybody. It is completely equal as human beings. Now, it needs to be reflected on the social organization where nobody is making laws arbitrarily and enforcing that law, and if you don't follow, he or she will kill you or send you to jail. This whole structure of the concentric power structure need to disappear in accordance with the fundamental structure of the universe and the fundamental structure of humanity. That is the omnicentric structure of human society. Now, there are a number of elements to get there. One is this psychological dependency on external authority. So now we are talking about spirituality. Look, there's a guru and a follower. Mm-hmm. A guru sits on the comfortable chair high up on the stage, and then people sit around. And he is given a special power, privilege. And people follow him, believe him, worship him. And that is one manifestation of this concentric, idiospheric configuration of human consciousness. That need to go. Mm-hmm. That's why in our spiritual study, there is no one who is considered to be an external authority. I am not an external authority to you, as you know. Every time you try to make me an external authority, I have denied.
Yes.
Yeah, to make sure that you go back to your own inner authority. I only speak from my own inner authority. And you think and ask questions from your inner authority. And I only suggest to you do something, and you take it or leave it. Mm-hmm. It's always up to you. Right. And somehow I'm trying in the spiritual dimension or spiritual discipline to break that concentric configuration and external orientation, external authority orientation. Now we have to extend that to the whole world. It does not mean when you have an organization, people take on different roles.
Right.
And each one has her own authority. And in particular organization, somebody may have a overseeing role. But it is not a concentric authority, external authority figure. Right. When organization dissolves, they're equal. So it is like a movement.
So for that to work,
Mm-hmm.
getting back to the beginning of this conversation where I asked you about integrity, and you said that the the lack of integrity stems from not knowing ourselves. It would appear to me that in order for the omnicentric community to thrive, everyone would need to know themselves first, so that there was integrity. So how does someone know themselves? Because although that sounds wonderful, what you just said, if there isn't integrity, it's just going to be a different structure with the same problems. So how does that?
In terms of creating omnicentric, society, there need to be a core group of people. That is true. But once there's a critical number, which is not very big, the social structure will absorb people in such a way that people will start to adjust to that way of life. The example I use is you don't need to, you and I use Facebook. You and I don't know the programming, computer programming that is involved in making this social network happen. You can just marvel at the amazing, complexity of this program. It's amazing, yes? And somebody who had this idea originally was amazing genius, yes? But you and I don't need to be a genius in that sense to be able to use Facebook. In the same way, omnicentric society will be created in such a way that structure will be set and people begin to participate and utilize the structure. So then, in that structure, the evolution of consciousness, the structure is more conducive to the evolution of consciousness, and people begin to discover who they are much more effectively, you can say. And so that is the idea. Now, how do one know? Does one know oneself? That is the question, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, that is a fundamental question. The most important question that anybody can ever ask. And you and I discussed this before. When we ask a question contains set of assumptions. So I'm using the word who am I. Yes? And each of those words has meaning.
Right.
My meaning.
Right.
And that my meaning is given by some set of assumptions I have about those concepts. If I don't know anything whatsoever, I cannot ask any question whatsoever. I know something about what it means to be who, what it means to be am, and what it means to be I. So, one of the ways to approach this question is to ask yourself this question: what is it that I know about I which is insufficient for me to be able to say, yeah? That's a more Zen, intellectually oriented approach. That's the way I think. I deconstruct all the questions. And when all the questions are deconstructed and all the assumptions are deconstructed, what is left is the I, about whom that you're asking. And that I am, but we cannot say any more than that. So again, the process, although it is a deconstructive approach, you can say, Zen Socratic approach to this question. But you can see it follows this meditative practice. Because the light of awareness that was shining upon the subject, who am I, is now turning around and going to the questioner itself. You see? So the one who is asking the question, who am I, is the answer.
Right.
So through the process of meditation, or through the process of deconstructing the questions and assumptions, the meaning that are attached to this question, you get to the self that is asking the question. When you become at one with that self, that answer is, the question is answered. And you know. The knowing that is being. That there's nothing to say more about that.